Well, if you happen to be in Murray County, Georgia, and see a low-flying airplane above some farm fields, don't panic. Chances are it's just Jimmy Petty making his weekly run to check on his farm. Now, although some might consider it a rather unique approach to farming, once you get to know Jimmy, you would understand his methods. Recently, I got a chance to spend the day with Jimmy, and needless to say, he left a lasting impression on me.
I do the feeding. Feeding is my part, and Jerry and the boys, other boys take care of they do the milking and that part of it. I do the feeding.
Jimmy Petty isn't your everyday farmer. In fact, some might say he's a man of many hats. Make that hundreds of hats.
I had the hats. They were all given to me by people we done business with, and they were stuck in the trash bag under the bed at the house, and my wife got a new bed and said the hats had to go. So I nailed them to the wall.
Having spent just a few hours with Jimmy, one could understand why people are willing to share so much more than just a hat with him. As the oldest son of 9 children, Jimmy is now the patriarch of Petty Dairy Farms, located in Crandall, Georgia, just south of the Tennessee border. Despite its name, Petty Farms is more than just a dairy operation.
We put in about 3,000 acres of row crop every year, wheat, soybeans, and corn. And we've got probably 600 acres of timber and about 1,000 head of cattle, beef cattle and dairy cattle mixed. Well, my dad started it, and we started milking cows in '56. And my brother and I sort of bought into it. We got old enough, got out of school, and we bought in partnerships with him, so it's a corporation now.
Hearing it described as a corporation, you would think Petty Dairy Farms would require a large staff to make it all work. Not in this case. With the exception of a few hired hands, Petty Dairy is a family business, owned and operated by the Pettys themselves.
My wife and daughter-in-law does the bookkeeping, and that's the hardest part, according to them. But the rest of us all know one another's job, and we all go about our daily routine. When we get through with our everyday chores like feeding and so on.
Well, it's good to have family working with family. I mean, it's very unusual for these times, I think, to have such a big family operation, and it's a pleasure to work with family. Some days are long, some days are not so long, but it takes a lot of work to do it all.
Which brings us to this. In an effort to cut down that workload, Jimmy incorporates his love of flying with his passion for the farm. According to Jimmy, he fell in love with flying while serving in an Army helicopter unit during the Vietnam War. In 1990, he purchased this single-engine plane and has since amassed over 1,500 hours of flight time. At least once a week, you'll find Jimmy high above, scanning his fields for potential problems.
I enjoy flying. That's just a habit, like smoking, I guess, but I enjoy that, and you can see a whole lot from there. You can see, what drainage needs to be done, or what kind of a stand you have, or whether you have bugs in the timber, and you can do it all so quick and have fun at the same time.
We have places that, when the river gets up really big and washes out, you can see them from the air a lot easier than which you couldn't see them if you're on the ground unless you just drove up on them. And we have had cattle to get out, and you can locate them a lot easier from the air, so it has its advantages.
So as you can see, Jimmy is very well-rounded. He's a dairy farmer, a row crop farmer, a pilot, an avid collector. Is there anything else I left out? Actually, there is. He's also a conservationist. In 2006, the Petty family was given the inaugural Governor's Agriculture Environmental Stewardship Award by then-Governor Sonny Perdue. To this day, Jimmy continues to serve on the board of directors for the Conasauga River Alliance.
To know that we're doing what we love and love what we do, I think that's, we hope we can, leave the ground better than we have it, than it is right now. Hopefully, we can pass it to our next generation on in better shape.
And thank you very much, Jimmy, for bringing me down to earth in one piece. I know you're happy.